Date, October 14th. Time is, let me check, 3:12 a.m. This is audio log number 1. Dr. Aris suggested I start documenting Lily's sleep patterns since we're hitting this, whatever this is. Sleep regression, she called it. Sounds like a polite medical term for, my life is a living hell. Sarah didn't even wake up this time. I let her sleep. She's got the early shift at the clinic tomorrow, and honestly, if one of us doesn't get 8 hours, this house is going to implode. So it's just me. Me and the monitor. I know, I shouldn't smoke inside. I'm blowing it out the window. Don't judge me, Doc. You try staring at a green screen for 3 hours straight while a 2-year-old screams at an empty corner and see if you don't need a little nicotine. So, the baseline. We moved into the Ashwood house 2 weeks ago. Great place. Pre-war architecture, hardwood floors, terrible insulation. The nursery is at the end of the hall, which seemed like a great idea for privacy until I realized that every time I have to walk down there at 3 a.m., the floorboards sound like gunshots. Lily was sleeping fine at the old apartment, but here, it's like a switch flipped. As soon as the sun goes down, she changes. It's not just crying, it's panic. She screams like she's in pain, but the second I pick her up, silence. Dead silence. She just stares over my shoulder at the rocking chair. Kids are creepy, right? Everyone says kids are creepy. It's probably just the shadows. The street lamp outside casts this weird long shadow through the blinds right onto the chair. I'll move the chair tomorrow. Maybe that's it. Just bad feng shui. Anyway, Lily is quiet now. I'm going to try to get another hour before the alarm. End log. October 16th, 2:45 a.m. Log number 2. It's pouring out there. I thought the rain would help her sleep. White noise, right? Wrong. She started up at midnight. Same routine. Screaming, pointing. I went in there, did the whole shush pat method. Nothing worked. But here's the weird part. I bought that new monitor yesterday, the SecureView 5000 or whatever. Top of the line. Night vision, motion tracking, two-way audio. I set it up on the nightstand so I wouldn't have to get out of bed every time she whimpered. About 20 minutes ago, I'm watching the feed. The screen is grainy, greener than the box showed. And the audio has this hum, like a ground loop buzz. I need to check the wiring. But I'm watching Lily standing up in her crib, holding the bars, and she's just babbling. Not crying, just talking. Baba, dada, no, the usual toddler gibberish. Then the audio cut out, just for a second, like a drop in the signal. When it came back, the volume spiked. It was loud. I heard Lily say, "Down, clear as day, down." I watched her drop to her butt in the crib immediately, like she was obeying an order. But I didn't say anything. Sarah is dead asleep next to me. It was probably just a coincidence. She got tired, she sat down. But on the screen, the camera did that autofocus thing. You know how the lens breathes, in and out? It focused on the rocking chair for a split second before going back to the crib. I moved that chair yesterday, by the way. I put it in the corner, away from the street lamp shadows. It looks heavier on the screen, like a solid block of pixels. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I'm just going to turn the volume down. That static is giving me a migraine. October 22nd. Log 3? 4? I've lost track. I need to return this monitor. It's defective. I woke up 10 minutes ago because the motion alert was beeping. I look at the screen and the nursery is empty. Lily is asleep, not moving a muscle. But the motion tracker, you know, the little red box that highlights movement, it was locked on the closet door, just hovering there, pulsing red. I stared at it for probably 5 minutes. The door was closed. Nothing was moving. Not even a draft. But the camera was convinced something was there. Then the signal started to interfere. You know that sound when you put a cell phone too close to a speaker? That dit-dit-dit-er noise? It started doing that. I got up. I walked down the hall. I didn't turn on the lights because I didn't want to wake Sarah. I opened the nursery door slowly. It was freezing. I mean, genuinely cold. I could see my breath. I checked the thermostat in the hall, and it's set to 72, but the nursery felt like a meat locker. Lily was curled up in a tight ball, shivering. I put an extra blanket on her. I checked the closet. Obviously, because I'm a grown man checking for monsters in the closet at 4 a.m. There was nothing. Just boxes of diapers and her winter coats. But when I closed the closet door, I got this feeling. Primal brain stuff. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. I felt like I was being evaluated. Like something was standing right behind me, just out of my peripheral vision. I spun around. Nothing. Just the crib, just the chair. I'm back in bed now. I'm watching the monitor. The motion tracker is off, but the temperature sensor on the camera usually says 71 degrees. It's reading 58. I'm calling the HVAC guy tomorrow. There has to be a draft in that wall. That explains the cold, and the draft probably rattled the closet door and set off the sensor. Mystery solved. God, I'm tired. October 22nd, 1:15 a.m. Okay, I'm not crazy. Sarah heard it this time. We were both awake. We were talking about the heating bill. The HVAC guy couldn't find a draft, by the way, and the monitor was on the nightstand between us. Volume was on low. Lily started crying, but it wasn't her "I'm hungry" cry. It was that terrified scream again, the one that grates on your nerves. Sarah went to get up, but I grabbed her arm. I told her to wait. I wanted her to hear the static I've been talking about. So we listened. Lily is screaming "no, no, no," over and over. And then the static builds up. It got so loud it distorted the speaker. And underneath the static, there was a sound. Sarah says it sounded like the house settling, wood creaking. But I know what I heard. It sounded like dragging. Like something heavy being pulled across the floorboards. Scrape, thud, scrape, thud. We stared at the screen. The image quality is garbage at night. Everything is just shades of green and black. But I swear to God, the rocking chair was moving. Not rocking, moving. Like sliding an inch to the left. Sarah ran in there. She turned on the light. I watched on the monitor as the room flooded with color. The chair was stationary. Lily was hysterical. Sarah spent an hour calming her down. When Sarah came back to bed, she was pale. She didn't want to talk about it. I asked her if she moved the chair. She said no. I'm looking at the screen right now. The chair is facing the crib. I know for a fact, I turned it toward the wall yesterday so Lily wouldn't stare at it. It has been rotated 180 degrees. I'm going to go down there and take that chair out of the room. Right now. I don't care if it wakes the baby. It goes in the garage. It's 3:30 a.m. I tried. I went down there. I had my hand on the doorknob, and I heard humming inside the room. It was a melody, a lullaby, but deep, like a baritone. It was too low for a human voice to make naturally. It was vibrating through the wood of the door against my palm. I froze. I'm ashamed to admit it, but I froze. I couldn't open the door. I just listened. The humming stopped abruptly, like a tape cutting off. Then I heard Lily giggle. A happy, wide-awake giggle. I didn't go in. I came back here. I'm staring at the monitor. The chair is still facing the crib. But now, the closet door is open. Just a crack. A sliver of black darkness. I know I closed it. I'm watching that sliver of darkness. And I think I can see the pixels shifting inside it. October 23rd. It is 10 a.m. I took the day off work. I had to. I watched the recording from last night. The SecureView saves the last 12 hours to the cloud. I sat at the kitchen table with a pot of coffee and watched the timestamp from 3:30 a.m. This is where it gets impossible. On the recording, the closet door never opens. The pixels I thought I saw shifting, just compression artifacts. The door stays shut the entire time. But the audio? The audio is there. You can hear the humming. It's faint, buried under the white noise, but it's a melody. Rockabye baby, but slowed down, way down. It sounds like a machine trying to learn how to sing. Sarah thinks I'm losing it. She found me watching the footage and told me to stop obsessing. She said the house is old, the pipes groan, and the wind whistles through the siding. She said if I'm this stressed, I should go sleep in the guest room tonight. I told her no. I'm not leaving her and Lily alone on that floor. October 24th, 2 a.m. Log number, whatever. I don't care about the number anymore. I'm currently sitting in my car in the driveway. I needed to get out of the house, just for 5 minutes. Something is wrong with the monitor. Not the signal, the time. I woke up at 1:45 because I heard Lily crying, screaming her head off. I looked at the monitor. On the screen, she's standing up, rattling the bars of the crib, face red, tears streaming. The audio on the monitor is blasting her screams. I jumped out of bed and ran down the hall. I burst into the nursery, ready to grab her. The room was silent. Lily was fast asleep. She was curled up on her back, breathing softly, not a tear on her face. I stood there for a second, totally confused. I thought maybe I dreamt it, but I had the monitor receiver in my hand. I looked down at the little screen in my palm. On the screen, she was still screaming. I looked at the crib, sleeping baby. I looked at the screen, screaming baby. It wasn't a delay. A delay is a few seconds. This was a different reality. I watched the screen for a full minute while standing over her sleeping body. The monitor Lily was looking directly at the camera, screaming, "Daddy, Daddy," while the real Lily didn't move a muscle. Then the screen flickered hard, gray static lines rolled down. When the image stabilized, the monitor Lily was gone. The screen showed exactly what I was seeing, a sleeping baby. I checked the timestamp on the monitor. It was correct, 1:48 a.m. It wasn't playing an old recording, it was live. Or it was supposed to be. I didn't tell Sarah. I can't tell Sarah. She'll think I'm hallucinating, but I know what I saw. The monitor is showing me something that isn't happening. Or maybe it's showing me what's going to happen. October 26th, 3:15 a.m. I moved the rocking chair to the garage. I didn't tell Sarah I was doing it. I just hauled it out there yesterday afternoon. It's an antique, belonged to the previous owners. They left it in the attic. Sarah thought it was charming. I think it's kindling. So the room is empty except for the crib and the dresser. There is nowhere for anything to hide. Tonight has been quiet. Too quiet. Usually I can hear the house settling. Tonight it feels like the whole world is holding its breath. Even the crickets outside have stopped. I've been staring at the monitor for 3 hours. The motion tracker is acting up again. It keeps drawing that little red square around the corner of the room, the empty corner, where the chair used to be. It's just hovering there. Occasionally it expands like the object is getting closer to the camera, then it shrinks back. The camera thinks something is standing there, something tall. I zoomed in. The SecureView has a 4x digital zoom. It looks terrible, just a mess of green blocks, but in the center of the red square, the static looks organized. It looks like static forming the shape of a hand, a long, thin hand reaching out toward the crib. I'm whispering because Sarah is tossing and turning next to me. She's been muttering in her sleep all night. I leaned over to listen a few minutes ago. I thought she was having a nightmare. She wasn't speaking English. Or if she was, the words were all wrong. She said, "The window is open. The window is teeth." She said it 3 times. "The window is teeth." I checked the nursery window on the monitor. It's closed, locked. I put a child lock on it myself. But now I can't stop looking at it. The glass looks black on the night vision. Absolute void. Wait, hang on. The monitor just clicked. The audio dropped out. Okay, it's back. But the breathing sounds different. The microphone on that thing is sensitive enough to pick up Lily's breathing. It's usually a fast, light rhythm. Hush, hush. The breathing coming through the speaker right now is slow, heavy, wet. It sounds like someone with fluid in their lungs. It's coming right next to the microphone. I'm going in there. I have my phone. I'm going to record this. If there is someone in my house, I swear to God. October 26th. Update. 3:45 a.m. There was no one. Of course there was no one. But the window was unlocked. I know I locked it. I remember the click. I remember testing it. But when I walked in, the latch was undone. The window was cracked open maybe an inch. The cold air was pouring in. I locked it. I nailed it shut. I put a literal nail through the sash. Nothing is opening that window again without breaking the glass. I checked Lily. She's cold again. Her skin feels like ice. I put a heater in the room. I sat with her for 20 minutes until she warmed up. Here is the thing that is making my hands shake. While I was in there, sitting on the floor next to the crib, I looked up at the camera. The little red light was on. It was recording. I waved at it just to test the lag. I came back to bed and rewound the footage on the monitor screen just now. I see myself enter the room. I see myself check the window. I see myself sit down. But I'm not alone in the footage. When I sit down next to the crib, there is a shadow standing over me. It's translucent, barely there, like a smudge on the lens, but it's tall. It's bent over at the waist, looking down at the back of my neck. Its face is right where my ear was. If that thing was there, if it was that close, I should have felt it. I'm staring at the live feed now. The red square is back. It's tracking something moving from the crib to the door. It stopped at the door. The door handle to the nursery just turned. I can see it on the monitor. The handle is turning. I locked the door from the outside when I left. It can't be opened from the inside. The handle is rattling. Clack, 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 clack. I have to go. I have to wake Sarah. October 27th, 4 a.m. Sarah isn't in bed. I turned over to wake her because of the door handle. The bed is empty. The sheets are cold. I'm looking at the monitor. The nursery door is open. Sarah is standing in the middle of the nursery in the pitch black. She's facing the corner where the chair used to be. She's just standing there, motionless, in her nightgown. Sarah, I'm talking into the two-way talk button on the monitor. Sarah, what are you doing? She's not moving. She's not reacting to my voice. Wait. She's raising her hand. She's pointing at the camera. She's opening her mouth. Her jaw is unhinging. It's opening too wide. That's not a scream. The audio feed just cut out. The battery icon on the monitor just dropped from 80% to 10% in a second. I'm going in. I'm taking the gun. October 27th, 4:45 a.m. I'm sitting in the hallway. The gun is on the floor next to me. The safety is on. I didn't fire it. Thank God I didn't fire it. When I kicked the door open, the room was pitch black. I flipped the light switch. Sarah was on the floor. She was curled up in a fetal position, right in the center of the rug, exactly where the camera had been pointing. She wasn't standing, she wasn't pointing, and her face is fine. She was unconscious. I had to shake her awake. When she came to, she started screaming. She didn't know how she got there. She thought she was still in bed. She was hysterical, asking where Lily was. Lily was in the crib, fast asleep. She slept through the whole thing, the door slamming, the shouting, everything. I checked the monitor again, the one sitting on the nightstand in our bedroom. I brought it into the hall. It's dead. The battery is completely fried. It smells like ozone, like burnt plastic. I don't know what I saw on that screen. It looked like Sarah. It moved like Sarah. But the thing I saw standing in that room, it wanted me to come in there. It wanted me to open that door with a loaded weapon. Sarah and Lily are leaving. I told Sarah there's a gas leak. I lied. I packed them a bag and told them to go to her mother's place in the city. She didn't argue. She felt the cold in that room. She knows something is wrong, even if she won't say it. They're pulling out of the driveway now. I'm watching the headlights disappear. I'm staying. I have to stay. If I leave, whatever is in this house, I feel like it will follow us. It's tethered to the monitor, but it's bleeding into the walls. I need to find out what it is. I need to kill it. October 27th, 2 p.m. The house is quiet. It's a different kind of quiet now that they're gone. It feels expectant, like a theater audience waiting for the curtain to rise. I've been going through the paperwork, the deed, the transfer documents, the stuff the real estate agent buried in the fine print. The previous owner was a woman named Ilara Vance. She lived here alone for 40 years. No husband, no kids, just her. She died in the house. Natural causes, the report says. But I found something else. A police report from 1982. A noise complaint. Apparently, the neighbors called the cops because they heard a baby crying. Not just once, every night, for months. Ilara Vance didn't have a baby. When the cops arrived, she told them it was the radio. She showed them an old ham radio set up in the nursery. She said she liked to listen to the static. She said sometimes voices came through. I'm going to the basement. The agent said there was storage down there. If Ilara left anything behind, it's going to be in the dark. October 27th, 5:30 p.m. I found it. It wasn't in the main basement. There's a crawl space behind the furnace, a false panel. I pried it open with a crowbar. It's a small room, dirt floor, no windows, and in the center of the room was the rocking chair. Not the one from the nursery, a different one, older. The wood is rotted and black, and sitting on the chair was a baby monitor. An old one, analog, 1980s tech, bulky yellowed plastic with a telescoping antenna. It was plugged in to an extension cord that ran up through the ceiling right into the floor of the nursery above. I plugged it in. It still works. I'm holding it right now. The speaker is rusted, but the green power light is on. And I can hear it. I can hear the nursery upstairs. I can hear the silence of the empty crib. But there's something else on this frequency. A voice. It's whispering. It's so quiet, I have to hold the speaker against my ear. It's saying names. It's just reciting a list of names. Ilara, Thomas, David. It just said my name. It's not repeating a recording. It stopped when I gasped. It heard me. This isn't a receiver. It's a transmitter. We brought the new digital monitor into the house, and we just gave this thing a camera. We gave it eyes. It's been blind in the dark for 40 years, listening to the static, and we handed it a 4K night vision lens. I have to destroy them. Both of them. The old one and the new one. I'm going upstairs. I'm going to smash the SecureView. Then I'm bringing this cursed antique out to the fire pit. Wait. The old monitor just made a sound, a loud screech. Don't go upstairs, David. It wasn't a whisper. It was Sarah's voice, but Sarah is 50 miles away. Don't go upstairs. Lily is awake. My blood is turning to ice. I know Lily isn't there. I watched them drive away. But the voice, it sounds so real. It sounds terrified. Daddy, help me! The man is in the room! That's Lily. That is my daughter's voice screaming from this rusted plastic box in my hand. I know it's a trick. I know it's a mimic. But what if it's not? What if they came back? What if Sarah forgot something and came back while I was in the basement? I'm running upstairs. I have the gun. I'm coming, Lily. October 27th, 6 p.m. They aren't here. The driveway's empty. The house is empty. But the nursery door is closed. I left it open. I distinctly remember leaving it wide open so I could see the crib from the hall. It's shut. And the lock just clicked. I'm standing in the hallway. The sun is going down. The shadows are getting long. The digital monitor, the SecureView, is still on the nightstand in the master bedroom behind me. It just turned on. I heard the startup chime. I'm looking at the screen. It's showing the inside of the nursery. The room is full of people. There are dozens of them, shadowy, static-filled figures standing shoulder to shoulder, surrounding the crib. They are all looking up at the camera. And in the crib is the old analog monitor, the one I left in the basement. How did it get upstairs? The figures on the screen, they are parting. They're making a path. Something is walking through the crowd towards the camera. It's me. It's a figure that looks exactly like me. It's wearing my clothes. It's holding my gun. The monitor me is looking into the lens. He's raising the gun. He's pointing it at the door. No, he's not pointing it at the door. He's going to shoot through the door. I threw myself to the floor. I didn't think. I just saw the muzzle flash on the little screen and I dropped. The explosion was deafening. A hole the size of a quarter punched through the nursery door, right at chest height, right where I had been standing. Splinters rained down on me. I scrambled backward, crab walking away from the door, my ears ringing. I could smell the gunpowder. It was real. The gun was real. But I have my gun. I'm holding my gun. How is there another gun inside that room? I aimed at the door. I waited for him to come out. The monitor me. I waited for the knob to turn. But the door didn't open. Instead, the monitor, the SecureView unit I dropped on the floor, started laughing. It wasn't a human laugh. It was a loop of me laughing, a recording of me chuckling at a joke from days ago, spliced together, pitched down and distorted into a scream. Ha, 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 ha. I shot the monitor. I put a hollow point round right through the screen. The plastic shattered. The laughing stopped instantly. Silence. I stood up. I have to get out. I have to get to the car. I ran for the stairs, but the stairs aren't there. I'm standing at the end of the hallway, looking down toward the living room, but the staircase is gone. It's just wall. Smooth floral wallpaper where the banister should be. I turned around. The hallway is stretching. The door to the nursery looks like it's 100 yards away. The perspective is all wrong. It's like looking through a fisheye lens. And the temperature is dropping. My breath is fogging up in front of me. The walls are groaning, shifting like the house is taking a deep breath. David. The voice came from the ceiling, from the vents. David, come back. We need to finish the recording. It's my voice. It's my exact voice, but calm, professional, like I'm reading a script. We need a final log, David. We need the end of the story. I'm not giving you an ending. I'm giving you an eviction notice. I ran back to the master bedroom. I grabbed the lighter fluid from the closet. I keep it there for the Zippo. I grabbed the matches. If the stairs are gone, I'm going out the window, but not before I kill this place. I soaked the mattress. I soaked the curtains. I ran into the hallway and sprayed the lighter fluid all over the wallpaper. It smells like chemicals and old dust. The nursery door is rattling again. Something is throwing itself against the wood from the inside. Thud, thud, thud. It sounds heavy. It sounds like a body made of meat and bone. David, open the door! It's Sarah's voice again, screaming, begging. The baby is in here. You left the baby. It's a lie. I know it's a lie. I watched them leave. I watched the car turn the corner. But God, it sounds so real. It sounds so desperate. I lit the match. The fumes caught instantly. A wall of orange flame roared up the hallway, separating me from the nursery door. The heat was immediate, intense. The screaming from the nursery stopped. It changed. It turned into a screech, a mechanical feedback loop screech that vibrated my teeth. The wood of the nursery door started to warp, not burn, warp. It bubbled like melting plastic. The door dissolved, and I saw it, standing in the frame. It wasn't me. It wasn't Sarah. It was a wireframe, a sketch of a human being made of static and gray light. It had no face, just a smooth surface of television noise, and it was holding the antique baby monitor in its hand like a weapon. It stepped into the fire. The flames didn't touch it. It walked right through the inferno, coming towards me. I threw the lighter fluid can at it. The can exploded in the heat. I turned and smashed the bedroom window with the butt of my gun. The cold night air rushed in, feeding the fire. The draft pulled the flames higher. I climbed onto the sill. The drop is 20 feet. I don't care. I looked back one last time. The static man was standing in the middle of the burning bedroom. He raised the antique baby monitor to his face like a walkie-talkie. I heard the voice coming from the device in his hand, but it wasn't coming from the device. It was coming from my pocket, from my phone, from this recording app I'm using, right now. It said, "Subject 119 has breached containment." I jumped. October 30th. I don't know the time. It's dark outside. That's all I know. I'm in a motel room off the interstate. Room 14. It smells like stale cigarettes and bleach. It's perfect. My ankle is shattered in 3 places. The doctors put pins in it. They wanted to keep me for observation. Psychiatric observation mostly. But I signed myself out against medical advice. I told them I needed to be with my wife. I haven't called Sarah. I can't call Sarah. If I call her, I open a line. And if I open a line, it can hear her. The house is gone. A total structural loss, the fire chief called it. I watched it burn from the stretcher in the ambulance. It was beautiful. The flames were 40 feet high. I watched the roof collapse into the nursery. I waited to see the static figure walk out of the fire, but it didn't. Maybe fire actually hurts it. Or maybe it just didn't need the house anymore. The police questioned me for 6 hours. They think it was a mental break. Sleep deprivation-induced psychosis. They found the charred remains of the antique monitor in the basement rubble. They think I set it up myself to torture myself. They think I made the recordings. Let them think that. If they think I'm crazy, they won't go looking for the truth, and nobody else has to die. I have my phone. It's the only thing I saved. The screen is cracked from the fall, but it still works. I've been listening to the logs, trying to figure out when it started, when the infection took hold. I found something. In the audio log from part 4, the one I recorded while the house was burning, I listened to it with headphones just now. When I jump out the window, you can hear the wind. You can hear the glass breaking. You can hear me hitting the ground. But after that, while I'm lying in the grass groaning in pain, there is a sound in the background of the recording. It's faint. You have to turn the volume all the way up. It's a lullaby. It's Rockabye Baby again, but it's not coming from the house. The sound is digital. It's crisp. It's coming from inside the phone. I realized something. The entity, the static man, it lived in the analog monitor for 40 years. Then it jumped to the digital monitor. And then, when I held my phone up to record it, I think it jumped again. It's not in the house. It's not in the ash. It's in this phone. It's in the data. I'm looking at the audio waveform on my screen right now, the little green lines that show the sound. I'm not speaking. The room is silent, but the green lines are moving. They are spiking, rhythmic, up and down, like a heartbeat. It's listening to me right now. It's listening to this recording. And if you're listening to this, if you downloaded this file, if you are playing this audio through your speakers or your headphones, then it's not in my phone anymore. It's in yours. Don't look at your screen. Don't look at the reflection in the black glass. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know how to stop it.